Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that introduction, and appreciate the opportunity to talk with you today and for sticking around really for the graveyard shift. So recognising that it is such that by now you'd like to rapidly get onto the beers, that's your civic duty, and that's what's most important, and that's what will be done. So thank you for Daniel Andrews for those wonderful words of encouragement. That's just the forward-looking statements, obviously. So I'd like to talk initially about the Kalamazoo, just under a summary. We think we're really, really well positioned. We've got major projects in both the Victorian Goldfields and the Pilbara. And, you know, I think that they're two of the most highly rated goldfields in the world currently. As a result of Fosterville's success, Victoria is now obviously going through another gold rush. And fortunately for us in Kalamazoo, we were early movers in Victoria. We got hold of 100% of two relatively major goldfields in Victoria about 2.5 years ago, and we actually pegged those. And in terms of a location, Castlemaine and our South Muckleford gold projects are located about 45 kilometres south of Fosterville. Our view is that the location and settings of these projects, which have a combined 8 million ounces of historical production, are the right combination really for a world-class discovery. And likewise, we believe that having had a very, very busy 12 months in 2020, it's setting us up for a great 2021. What has got us excited at our Victorian projects is a very recent discovery of a high-grade epizonal gold antimony arsenic system at our Fentimans Reef project. And that mineralisation has been seen by the expert at Fosterville to be very, very similar to the Fosterville and Costerfield mineralisation. So we're quite excited about the potential of that, and I'll talk a bit about that later. Also in the middle of last year, we purchased the Ashburton gold project from Northern Star that has a mineral inventory of 1.65 million ounces at a grade of about 2.5 grams. We've completed our maiden drilling campaign on that with about 6,000 metres of RC. And our aim is to really substantially increase the resources of that project over the coming 12 or 24 months, and then to put that on a development setting. We've also got a rather large anomaly at our sisters project up in the Pilbara. That is in a similar geological setting to De Grey's projects, which are located just to the northeast along the same sort of structural corridor. So we hope to be drilling that in the coming months. So it's certainly been a very, very busy and successful 2020 for us. It's something obviously that we hope to be drilling on a number of fronts on both sides of this country this year. And we'll move to the corporate snapshot. You can see from the pie chart there, we've got a pretty tight share register. Top 5 shareholders control more than 50% of the stock. And following our first Victorian drilling campaign where Eric Sprott and Novo took an interest in Kalamazoo, combined they put $8 million into the company in January last year. So we've got 2 separate exploration teams as well, particularly useful in this period of COVID, and we've been able to operate on both sides of the country basically unhindered by the effects of last year. So we've got a current market cap of about 65 million at today's share price. We've got 9 million in cash and receivables and a stream of options that continually provide an income of cash into the company. So if I can talk about our Bendigo projects first. It's well known the Bendigo zone in Victoria is probably one of the richest goldfields in the world, 60 million ounces produced between 1850 and 1890. And what really sets it apart, I think, is the grade, average grade of about 15 grams per tonne. But despite its rich history, it's, you know, we all know it's been pretty much unloved, and obviously not since Fosterville and Kirkland Lake's discovery has kind of changed all that. It's also being ramped up a notch, obviously, with the government land tender that is due to be released in, I think, end of March. And I don't think there's really a lot of opportunity for the Victorian government to delay that any further. I think there will be a result at 31st of March. The Castlemaine and South Muckleford projects at the bottom of this slide cover about 480 square kilometres, and between them have produced about 8 million ounces of gold. So there's very little exploration that's been done, particularly at South Muckleford, and so we feel particularly embuoyed by the opportunity that we see there. So our exploration strategy in Victoria is to really find a large resource. We're looking for 1 million ounces at 10 grams. So effectively, we're looking for another Fosterville. It's the same age, same geology as Bendigo. I think we're in the right location. The interesting thing about Castlemaine, which arguably was probably one of the richest alluvial goldfields on the planet, is that there's only one real hard rock source that's been mined at Castlemaine. That's the Wattle Gully mine at about 11 grams. And that the average depth of drilling across the entire goldfield is only 137 metres. So there hasn't really been an awful lot of concerted effort at depth almost anywhere in that entire goldfield. So for us, obviously with new techniques and the willingness to drill much deeper, we see this as a terrific opportunity. And obviously for us over the last 12 to 24 months, a key focus for us has been target generation. We've been deliberately trying to take a little bit of a smarter, innovative approach to what we're doing here. We've worked with CSIRO on a number of collaborative projects, and we continue to do so. And we've also spent a lot of time doing 3D interp work. And I think that's contributed to our exploration success in the first two drilling campaigns that we did at the project. Oh, sorry. In March, we completed our first drill program at Mustang. We achieved anomalous or high-grade results in all 14 drill holes that we drilled, and that included an intersection of 1.4 metres at 261 grams a tonne, and that's really what got Quentin Henai and Eric Sprott interested in Kalamazoo, and the reason why they put their money in. We completed drilling at Lightning just before Christmas, and as seen on this map, which is here, that contained some extensive historical workings and shafts, and there were reports at Lightning of substantial mining between 1850 and 1890 with recoveries of around 31 grams a tonne. We drilled 6 holes at Lightning and encountered anomalous to high-grade gold and associated alteration in all holes. Interestingly, a prospector has recently discovered coarse high-grade that you can see in these nuggets here, Boss metal detecting in between Lightning and Mustang. So this further supports our theory that we've now got a gold-bearing potential over 2.5 kilometres, and obviously it's going to continue to be a focus for us as we keep drilling throughout the year. More recently, at the South Muckleford project, we have identified a epizonal high-grade gold antimony system over a strike length of about 1.5 kilometres. And this is mineralisation that's pretty similar to Fosterville and Costerfield just up the road. Results from soil sampling that you can see in this map, rock chip sampling and mapping have established this mineralised system is consistent with the historical Fentimans and Smiths reefs. Historical records at Fentimans over the period of 1860 to 1904 produced around about an ounce a tonne associated with this high-grade gold antimony lode. And obviously we're pretty excited about this particular discovery. It's subsequently been validated by the guy who kind of wrote the textbook on Fosterville, Dr. Chris Voicey. He's had a look at our core and confirms that it is indeed very, very similar to what he has seen at Fosterville. So we're now undertaking an extensive IP survey as well as LiDAR across the whole project area. This will then feed into our diamond drilling campaign, which we hope to initiate at the end of this quarter. We're continually asked about this land release, and as I said, I don't think there's any opportunity for the Victorian government now to sort of back away from hopefully what will be a March decision date. We've put in a pretty strong bid, we hope, for blocks 3 and 4. Who knows? But I think, I think the BDO representative today started to talk about ESG. It's something that we take extremely seriously, particularly in Victoria, given the difficulty of working in Victoria. We've got a particularly good record at ESG and working with the local communities. So I think that actually is a large part of the point scoring for the tender. And he's right, ESG going forward will be particularly important for people in our industry. If I can just briefly now turn to the Ashburton Gold Project. We acquired this from Northern Star, 1.6 million ounces, and although the project displays a lot of potential both for exploration and for development, it just didn't really fit their portfolio any longer. So we approached them, asked them to see if we could do something for it, and we'll provide them with a royalty if we get it into production. So our aim is to move this 1.6 million ounces to between 2 and 3 million and initiate development studies. The project itself has a number of brownfields and greenfields potential. We're just going to use systematic exploration to attack these on 2 fronts. And we're also looking to do a number of research projects with geometallurgy, because I think that's going to be the key to understanding the sulphide portions of this deposit and to move this project onto a development footing. It's about 217 square kilometres. Northern Star acquired the project in 2010. It had an inventory of about 650,000 ounces. Over the course of 18 months, they added 1 million ounces. So we actually think that there's plenty more gold to be discovered at this project. We've done a lot of drilling. We've done about 5,700 metres of drilling, mostly conducted at the Waugh project, and we're looking at down dip and along strike extensions to the east and the west. I think we've, although results are still pending, we have found, thick quartz, ironstone geology that appears to be consistent with the Waugh style of mineralisation. And also, historic information suggests that high-grade gold occurrences exist over 1 kilometre to the east in the same geology and in the same structure. So, again, we believe there is ample opportunity to expand resources at Waugh. A key component of the work, as I mentioned, was the geomet, and we're embarking on a number of research projects there. Obviously, if we can make any impact or positive impact on the recovery of the sulphide project, that lends a lot more weight to developing a stage 2 sulphide plant after an early oxide process. Just briefly, our Sisters project. We have an anomaly at Sisters, which was developed through soil sampling. It's 1.2 kilometres long. I don't think it's ever been drilled. We have now developed 5 targets at the Sisters, and we hope to start drilling this in around about April or May of this year. And just finally, there's a little bit of detail. The Western Plains project covers the most extensive and highest intensity gold anomaly. It's 1.2 kilometres long. We plan to attack this with about 11 fences of RC drilling. Also, on the right-hand side, you can see a prominent bullseye anomaly, 400 metres in diameter, lying between 2 major granite bodies. So this, again, will be something that we can attack this year. So to wrap up, to summarise, 2020 has been a really busy year for us. We believe we're pretty well placed to have major success in 2021. We've got major projects in both Victoria and the Pilbara. In Victoria, we're searching for the next Fosterville. Over in WA, we are looking to substantially increase the ounces to over 2 million ounces at Ashburton. We've got great support. We've got fantastic cornerstone investors. We're well funded and with access to further funds should we need them. And it's all for us to do. So I appreciate you hanging around. Go and get those beers.
Thank you, Paul.